by my team.
That's what.
What is that?
Boom!
That's a first.
Boom! I'm just gonna talk for the next 40 minutes to show you I don't know how to pass. Hey gang, welcome back, everyone.
I
Happy
kind of
Thanksgiving. Happy post.
kind of like it just off the cuff recording. Just go.
Pete, did you get any reaction to our expose?
Yeah, I mean, it's just wonderful. The pictures were fantastic. I have my sister saw it. I think it made rounds around her friends. It was just fantastic.
Well, it has to
What
go
was
back.
what was it modeled after? What were you guys posing as? What was the
What?
comp?
It was Innocent, his
Picture
fiance.
you sent to the thread.
Oh my God, we just got that recorded.
That
And
was
he
way
still
over
has
my
me
head.
written down as his daddy.
Wait,
I am. I still
what?
beat you. Let me look at that. Oh my. Oh
Wait.
my God.
Wait, really?
Wait, what? Are you messing right now?
Did you really?
I did not make that connection.
You are such an idiot.
We have to cancel this.
Do you want to start over, Brian? That's one of the all-time biggest whiffs. That joke's been out there for a week.
Hold on. No,
Oh,
you guys
boy.
got too much. You guys are too separated. Pete, you're not close enough to Mike.
That's what it's based off of.
It was right after the same caption and emoji, and it was right next to the picture we sent. Oh my God.
you sent the first picture.
Did we restart this
I
now?
know. I know.
I feel embarrassed. I feel
I
embarrassed.
saved it.
He started it. That's right, Mike. He sent the picture to us.
He
know what I
sent the
have?
picture.
Yeah, you got.
Really troubling.
I did. You guys need that. You guys need that app on your phone where you put them side by side.
You need to stop taking pictures of us and start paying attention, dude. What was that?
Oh man, that's so good.
Yeah, it was better last week when we sent it.
Yeah, only a couple days ago.
Holy cow.
Is he joking right now or is he being serious?
I don't
I
think
did not make that connection. I thought you guys do like a Step Brothers or something like that.
Oh boy.
Steve, come on, Steve. How is that? How did he miss it that bad?
How did you
I thought he was kidding. I thought there was an honest.
I thought he was joking.
forget the trade deadline? We got to investigate this more. You just thought that I sent a picture of me and Mike and said extra thankful this year. And then
Yep.
the best part, he's on the private conversation between the four of us where we're talking about the whole thing.
When was this? When were we talking about that?
We sent pictures of my son holding up the phone so that Mike could imitate it.
Yeah, I know, but if that was on Saturday, I can't.
It's Tuesday.
No, I know. If we were talking about it on Saturday, once I made the trade, I started celebrating.
All right, Mike, let's go.
I'm really concerned here.
I was worried we didn't have anything to talk about at the
I
the
thought
podcast.
I thought what Case was going to tee up here was he sent the picture, which set off you guys having that great photo to his win this week. And he's going to say he had a great week. That's what I thought he was going with. Like,
Right.
Joke. No.
I have to say, seeing Mike's family in person is an absolute dream. I've only seen Sheila when I was drunk, so I appreciate seeing her sober. She is a gem. Mike's kids are both fantastic. His house is amazing. So it was very nice going there. Very, very nice catching up. House
You know,
is
everything there is everything but Mike.
If you
His
guys
house,
ever,
his wife, his kids.
Oh, it was,
Don't
you know what?
mention
It was so funny seeing his kids' reaction to me because they heard my voice and they were just looking at me and Sheila said that they were a little sidetracked because they're used to the podcast voice. I was kind of a minor celebrity walking around like
you were.
Yeah, it was nice.
The best thing about the DeLucas visit, they showed up to the house at 1:30. They were out the door by 1:50, and I was like, "Hey, great to see you guys."
In and out, man. In and out. We got 6 hours ahead of us. We got to get out of here.
Nice pick stitch.
Long enough to give everybody the flu, and I'm getting out of there.
So if we had done this case, we'll send this picture the case just sent to the greater text. You would have understood we needed to do this specific of a thing for you.
I got it now.
Case needed the answer key in order to take the test.
Holy cow, Brian.
Not the first time we've done that.
Wow.
All right, we got a lot to recap. We had an active trade deadline. I don't know who's leading that conversation. I'm hoping it's not me. We've got some booms to talk about. We've got a lot of turmoil in the league to talk about as we get into episode 67. Anybody Google a famous number 67? Ted Coppin?
I haven't been doing any of this.
Dan Coppin?
Coppin?
Stan?
Ted
Dan
Karras.
Coppin or Ted Karras?
Ted Karras.
Oh my God. This podcast is off to a rip-roaring start.
I think this is one of the best openings of all time. I really
think
think
so,
Brian
too.
Casey.
I did not do
I
that.
really think Brian was planning all of this. Like, this is comedic genius.
Did you and
So
Mike call each other beforehand?
I just Googled it. This is the Bob Kuchenberg episode. Famous offensive guard for the Miami Dolphins.
It's terrible.
We can say Case pulled a Kuchenberg anytime someone does something like that.
Oh, a Kuchenberg. Episode where Casey didn't get a joke for a week and a half. All right. All right, let's get started. Mike, I'll give you a little. You seem to do well being the talent, so we'll go with that.
You got it. You sent me the email. I haven't read it, but I'm looking at it right here. I'm ready.
Yeah, don't worry about it. I might go to it. I might not. Let's start with the boom of the week. 184.42 by DeVita. He goes back to back like it's Jordan Pippen, 96-97. It's DeVita's 5th boom of the year and the 8th all time, which puts him in a 3-way tie for the all-time booms with me and Mike. That's a pretty fun threesome.
Baby.
Yeah. Very quickly, who's your favorite triple tag team duo in WWF history?
The Demolition. Axe, Crush, and Smash.
So do you remember, like, didn't Smash get in a boating accident? And
yeah. That's why they brought in Crush. And then Crush went to beat Kahuna Crush. Oh yeah, that's my favorite ones.
My favorite was the Brood. Do you remember the Brood?
Yeah, I forgot about the Brood.
It was Christian and Edge, which they went on to be like really big, and then Gangrel just did nothing.
Oh yeah, Gangrel. Remember he used to spit like he had red all over himself?
He used to spit blood on everybody.
It was weird.
It was really weird.
I like the random ones where they would just take like random guys and put them in. I liked when it was Stone Cold and the Acolytes.
They were on a trio?
The Acolytes.
Yeah, they were.
I was thinking more of a branded trio, Steve, like the Dudley Boys or something.
All right. Well,
that's what it's hard to find a 3-man team anymore. Like you got to do like D-Generation X, just take one out.
Hey, can I get a little?
It doesn't work like that. It doesn't work.
Pete, you didn't prep me for that. I just thought about that off the cuff.
Yeah, Demolition's a good one. I was thinking Demolition. I was thinking Dudley Boys were good, but something I don't know for some reason Brood. I remember them from like the Raw era. I like that. I like that stuff. All right. This was about the boom of the week. So anyway, Beast of the Week, 61.96 points for Josh Jacobs on DeVita's team. This was DeVita's, surprisingly, his first Beast of the season for a guy that leads the
I'm surprised by that.
Yeah, leads the league in scoring. First, what, keeping you awake over there, short sleeves? You doing all right? All right.
You're wearing a short sleeve hoodie. Is that a thing?
Is that a thing?
Yeah, they're awesome.
Oh, wow. You too. I have long sleeve.
Weirdly enough, the 61 points by Jacobs isn't the highest scoring person in the league this year. It's still Mixon, 63 points from week 9. That is I don't know how. The scoring system is absolutely ridiculous. Going deep,
5 touchdowns.
Yeah, I guess so. Going deep, 86 yards for Jacobs. That was the top rushing mark. 69 yards for Derrick Henry. That was the top receiving mark. DeVita got both. He got the boom. He got the beast. He got both going deeps. I mean, when you're going good, you're going good. So the guy peaked.
Big week for DeVita.
Yeah, scoring. The average score this week was 137. The average score for the season is 134. Out of a possible 110 scores, Andy's 184 ranked 5th highest this season. Lloyd's 117 was the 4th lowest.
I'm going to complain a lot this episode.
Go ahead.
I have 3 weeks that I've beat that benchmark and I've lost. I looked this morning. I'm second in the league in points. I have 6 losses. That's stupid. And I only have 1 boom.
Yeah.
Sorry.
You want to recap the picks?
Yeah, all right, sure. Okay.
Who's your quarterback?
It was not my quarterback's fault. You're so hung up on Tyler.
He's a loser.
Calamari.
Okay, week for the pod here. Steven led the way with a 4-1 week for us.
Oh,
so
DeVito, we didn't do the recap.
Week. Something actually went well for Steve this week.
It was not in my matchup with you, Case.
Now he's just 1 game back of Pete for the overall pick lead on the year.
Wow, way to go,
Steve.
Steve.
A huge charge in the last couple of weeks.
Take it.
Pete responded nicely, a solid 3-2 week, but a big 3-0 week in your superlatives. You got every single one of your superlatives correctly this week.
Oh, and I picked the Darian. I picked the Darian to upset because I had no upset.
You did. It was a good call. It was
Total
a good call.
fluke. Total fluke.
It's a good rebound for you coming off an 0-5 week. So good to see that. Kaleli matched his win total this week from his previous 2 weeks combined with 2, going 2-3. He is now has 4 wins in the last 3 weeks combined.
I'm back, baby.
Hot sauce.
And now I went 3-2. I hit all 3 superlatives as well, Pete. So we're both on that one because I'm the only one that took myself. And
very confident.
I am now only 1 game back of Mike.
What are you talking about? I took you this week.
Did you?
Oh, you did. You did. I took myself as the upset though, superlative upset.
Superlatives, gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't say anything about that.
And
did you?
now Mike's one game away from falling into fourth place, so the free fall continues.
Oh boy.
Wow, in both the league and the pick'em and in life.
Yeah.
Nah,
Wait,
my life's pretty good right now.
I
He
don't know,
just said how great his life is. He's got it.
shoulder
His
doesn't
wife
sound
is-
that great.
Sheila's a catch. 2 great kids. Wonderful house.
Wonderful house.
One and a
Takes
half.
good,
I came home-
takes good portraits.
I came home from the office today, and my 6-year-old threw putty onto our white couch, and my wife, I haven't heard her yell like that in a long time, and I was like, nice to be home, everyone.
Hi guys, how was your day?
We just bought a couch, Mike. Black Friday deal.
What'd you get
New
it
living
from?
room set.
Oh, Casey's taking full advantage of the Black Friday deals over there.
Yeah, Raymore and Flanagan. It was a good deal.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, got like $1,200 off on the thing. It is a off-white though, so we were concerned about the white with the kid.
Yep.
Yeah.
This is great.
Yeah. You know what you got to do? You got to get they got like a thing where you can buy where like you get like a lifetime. They come and clean it and the whole thing. Like anytime you do it.
We got the protection plan, platinum protection plan. They call it.
Oh, platinum. Gee, I didn't know you were platinum.
PPP, triple P.
All right, let's do the weekend review. Mike, do you want to do anything or I can just do it? I don't really care.
Nope.
Okay, we could review. Let's start with the way we did the preview. So it started with me and Lloyd. It was an ugly win for me. 124 to whatever Lloyd ended up having. It was I'm 4-0.
Extra points.
Yeah, I'm 4-0 against
121.
Oh, okay.
121, Pete.
121 against whatever Lloyd had. I stopped paying attention.
74 points.
74. That was ugly. I'm 4-0 against Lloyd personally. Miles Sanders bailed me out by outscoring half of my team. So if both teams could get a loss, I would allow it on this one. So Casey, I want to start with you. Would you like to thank me? This win might have got you $100. Yeah, there we go.
I love you, Pete.
Finally, somebody can show up for you.
I take back all the mean things I ever said about you.
Well, good luck. That's years. Mike, with the remaining schedules, you have Larkin has you and Jeff, and then Casey has Breen and me. Do you think we're headed to a week 15 showdown?
Yeah, I think so.
All right.
I think it's either they both go 2-1, 1-2, 3-0, or even if Case wins one more, it's going to be a loser leaves town. I think for sure. I think that's so. The only way it doesn't happen is if Case goes 2-1 and Lloyd goes 0-3, and you jump a game on him, because if you're a game up, you'll get him in points. So we have to hope if one of them goes, if Lloyd goes 0-3, Case loses 2. And if I was Case, I would throw.
We have to hope. Case
I would throw the second to last week if I was Case. Just as I'm predicting a meaningful game last week of the season.
Well, what's the points look like? Casey's got him by like 150. So
Casey's going to get him on points.
Okay, so I would like to see Casey a game back in that one, or tied.
Or tied.
That would be wonderful. That would be wonderful. Excuse me. All right, Steve. I listened back to the podcast, and it was one of the funnier lines when I heard that you were not buying Ken Walker as a long-term fit in Seattle after 2 touchdowns this week. Do you change your opinion on him?
Oh, he had 28 rushing yards.
All right. Well, I didn't know you were going to be so harsh when you brought up my counterpoint. I was going to be like, but what about the 28 rushing yards?
I still thought that he could have sold him. The problem in our league are just running backs are not as valuable as receivers.
Hit the cough button, Casey. Jeez.
Well, I couldn't mute, huh?
DeVito, would you feel confident playing Walker next week? He's going against the Rams.
Yes, especially with Aaron Donald with a high ankle sprain.
Ooh, I like the take. Well, I win another one. Maybe Yahoo will stop projecting me to lose every game for the rest of the year. That would be wonderful. Let's go to the next one. Go real quick.
Working your advantage though.
Yeah. I got a chip on my shoulder, massive one. If you don't know me.
Sour cream and onion.
What's that?
Sour cream and onion.
What about sour cream and onion?
Chip. What kind of chips on your shoulder?
Cheddar and
what
sour
flavored
cream.
chip is on your shoulder?
I'd go Dorito.
Barbecue.
Nacho.
What kind is
Orange.
Dorito?
Sour
Orange.
cream and cheddar.
Orange for life.
The original. All right.
Get that Cool Ranch out of here. And the flaming
agree
stuff. I'll be up all night. I can. It's terrible. All right.
Nacho cheese.
Yeah, nacho cheese. I got like a bag of them right over here. All right. Spates and DeVita. Andy wins. He's pretty good if you haven't heard. All right. We talked about this a lot about Andy. So let's talk about Spates. Let's talk about the Christian McCaffrey deal. And to do this, let's play a game of Grade the Trade. All right. So to remind everybody of what happened, Innis got Christian McCaffrey. That's easy. Yep. Spates got Austin Eckler, DK Metcalf, Deontay Johnson, and 2 first-round picks. Now, I want to get everybody's grade on this, A+ through F or whatever. But I want you to take in context what was going on in the league. Don't look at this deal in a vacuum. It was Saturday night. It was 5 p.m. This was before all the games were played. Innis is swinging for the fences, and the deal goes down. So let's deal out some grades. I want to start with Spates first. It's easy. He's selling. I think, I don't know about you guys, but I've talked to him a lot about Christian McCaffrey, and the deal was always started with 2 first-round picks and a top-level running back. And I was always like, that doesn't make sense for my team. It looks like he got that plus some. So I think it's easy for CJ. He was selling. He looked like he got a lot, and I would give him an A+. Mike.
I agree with the logic. I also think before we get into the specific players, like the people's grades, the trade itself, the way it went down, like Saturday afternoon, long weekend, you think people are having a couple of drinks, and to get that sort of text, I give the trade itself an A+. I like it for Spates. I give Spates an A. I give Spates an A. I don't give A+ out that regularly, which is why.
Whoa. I figured the first time ever I might as well go A+.
I'll go A. I like A+ on this segment.
Casey, you look more awake.
Yeah, no, I'll give it an A+. I'll give it an A+ too. The thing about it too is all for one player. And I think my answer to the text was, Innis, are you tanking? Like, are you done this year? He said, no, I'm still going for it. And I'm just like, okay, how?
Yeah, you were the most confused by this.
I was for his answer. The thing that's great about CJ is that if you look at Eckler versus McCaffrey just by himself, Eckler's the better player for this year and maybe next year with his role in the offense versus McCaffrey's, and his with so many touches to go around. So I think that 2 picks and DK, I think that's huge.
And Deontay.
Steve, question for you.
Which he turned into Pacheco.
Yeah, you love Pacheco. I don't really, I didn't really, I wasn't into it. All right, anyway, we'll talk about that a little bit more. Steve, did Brian seem more confused at the picture Mike and I sent, or the?
Oh, that's not on your notes. That's improv. That's improv.
Trade. Go ahead.
I agree. I give Spates an A. I said this earlier in the week, even before McCaffrey came out with a knee soreness, that they'd already talked about splitting carries in San Francisco. Eckler is the clear-cut number 1 in Los Angeles. Metcalf has been a target hog, and he got 2 first-round picks. I thought I give Spates an A as well.
There you go. Not an A+. You're not there.
No, I'm not there. I give it an A.
All right. Innis, I really feel, is the more interesting side of this deal. He gets, when everything's all settled, he ends up getting Lamar Jackson, Jonathan Taylor, and Christian McCaffrey. I think that sounds a lot better than it is. Sorry, this beer is making me burp. But if this is a copycat league, those tactics remind me a lot of what DeVita did and is doing. And so it looks like it's kind of working out for him. I personally would not have done Eckler in 2 firsts. So, but I do kind of get where he's coming from. So I'd give it a D+, because I do think when Lamar Jackson, Jonathan Taylor, and CMC, that sounds really good, but I don't know, not an F, but the step above it. Mike, what do you think?
I think that's a little bit. I think it's a little bit dramatic for what I'd give Innis.
The first time someone said that to me.
Well, I think Innis I'd give him a B-. I think in the vacuum of the trade, I'd like Spates more because I think he got value for an asset that was one that Case thinks is more distressed than I do, but he got a lot for one asset. I wouldn't say it's a D, because if McCaffrey's playing well, Innis got the best player in the deal and potentially has 3 league winners on his roster. The problem I have with it is it felt like it was very rich for what it needed to be, and it kind of took all of the chips that he had and pushed it on the table in somewhat of a desperate move, was my reaction to it. So if you told me it was 1 first-round pick and then he could use that other first-round pick if he was really trying to be active, I would have felt better about it. I still think, though, at the end of the day, the Mitchell injury doesn't help, or maybe it does help. He wanted to move in on an offense that's going to be pretty high volume for a pass-catching running back, and his 3-headed monster potentially could be a league winner. I'd give it a B-, and I like the aggressiveness, so give it a B-.
Yeah, the aggressiveness is nice. McCaffrey, though, I mean, like you're really, I want to get Steve and Brian's kid. Go ahead, go, Brian. You look like you're ready to talk. Give me a grade.
Yeah, no, my whole D, because my whole thing on it is that I have a tough time coming up with 10 keepers now for Innis's team.
There you go. He didn't have the depth to a trade like this.
So if this is I'm trading McCaffrey for next year, there's no more trade deadline. He's out of picks, and now he's riding just those 4 guys. Yeah. And not to mention that we all talk about McCaffrey as this unicorn, but Eckler's the better player last
Eckler's
year.
better
He's the best
than
player this year, and he's
Yeah.
probably the better player next year because the ball that needs to go around Los Angeles is different
Frank.
than San Fran.
I agree with
And
you
he
on
doesn't
that.
have the same injury prone. So I think Eckler's a better player. So I think CJ got the better player and the supplemental players and more picks. And Innis just got a player. So,
Yeah.
I mean, he's
A
got some
player
more
that's-
moves to make in the offseason than I guess.
a player that's
Hold
scored-
on, the one thing I'll say, if you guys had the opportunity to trade 1-for-1, you could pick one guy to have on your roster. Who would you take, McCaffrey or Eckler?
Eckler.
For this year, for
You love
what?
No,
McCaffrey.
I mean, on your roster in
Eckler.
our league. He's yours.
Eckler. I think Brian and I both done it.
I had him last year, and he won the regular
Steve,
season
what do
title.
you think about that question?
The Brian Casey Award.
In a 1-for-1, I'd probably take McCaffrey in a 1-for-1, but I think it's so close.
It's another L this week for
Eckler and
Davino.
Yeah,
McCaffrey.
Steve, I think that's the red point. I agree. I'd take McCaffrey. I think the gap isn't that far off.
No,
What do you
I don't
think-
think it's. I think the way that he made the trade by including Metcalf, Johnson, and the 2 firsts made it seem as if he was trading like Gabe Davis and those other 4 pieces,
Yeah.
right? So putting Eckler, if we're saying Eckler, McCaffrey's got more value. But if we're talking about Eckler being involved in McCaffrey, like I thought it was way too much. My
Yeah.
grade for Innis is a C, and I agree with what Case is going to say. That was my next point. McCaffrey has been consistently hurt. Taylor was hurt. The only guy that he's got that has big playability. I know Gabe Davis does in Buffalo, but he hasn't been that great. CeeDee Lamb has had a good year. But I agree. Where else is he going here? The depth of what it is that he's got on the rest of the roster and the starting lineup, there's nothing else that's there. I personally would have rather, if I were him, keeping Eckler and maybe gone to someone like Breen, who he was playing this week, and gone after like Nick Chubb, and maybe take a young wide receiver or a couple of first-round picks that Breen loves, and gone after someone
why
like
do you hate
that.
that?
Do you think if he
Why do you
gave
hate that?
that
I
deal
love
to
that
Kevin
stuff.
Breen, do you
Great
think if
idea.
he gave that up
Loves
to Kevin Breen,
picks.
Kevin Breen would have taken that?
Yes, I think Breen for Chubb would have taken a young wide receiver like in DK Metcalf, who's got big playability and 2 first-round picks for Chubb, and I think that would have made Innis a little bit. It would have helped him even more by
Brees
keeping
won the award.
Eckler and having Chubb. That would have been, Eckler, Chubb, and Taylor, the 3-headed monster with Lamb. That's dangerous.
He's going to be the only guy drafting Breen. He's like,
My Saturday afternoon texts are a little fuzzy in memory, but I think I remember texting Innis offline as well and saying like, I don't get it. Are you still in it? He said, I got more moves to come. And I'm not sure when the trade happened. I think it was later.
Maybe they
but-
fell through.
Yeah, I guess either that or like something didn't go well. Like, I don't know if he's going to try to turn him around again or
You know what I think is interesting? I wanted to talk to you guys about this. Is that like when I saw the trade come through, I don't know about you guys, but I had Jeff and CJ as both like playoff potential teams that were like gonna compete this weekend. So when you see that,
What's up,
like,
Mac?
yeah, what's up, Mac? The 1-year anniversary. When you see Jeff, like if you're Jeff and you see a text offer from a guy with more points than you, lower in the standings, is giving you your best player, doesn't that raise red flags? Like maybe I shouldn't be doing this trade right now. Like the guy that I'm competing with is selling to me.
I mean, you got to think too for Innis right now. I know hindsight is one thing, but Mitchell's now out for the next 6 to 8 weeks.
Kevin,
He's got Mitchell and McCaffrey.
hold on one
who's playing
second.
in
I have a
the
live
same-
guest on the pod. Kevin, Steve is making the claim that the
He's
Jeff
muted.
Innis and it's Kevin Breen, everyone.
Hi, Kevin.
The
Hey,
Jeff
Kev.
The Jeff
This
Innis
has got to
CJ
violate
trade-
one of Pete DeLuca's trade rules.
No, it's not. It's on the pod.
No, it's what I was saying that he could have
DeVito
done.
said
Gentlemen's
if
agreement.
he was Jeff, he would have offered you 2 first-round picks and DK Metcalf. Is that the right offer, Steve?
Yep.
For Nick Chubb, would you have taken that offer?
His first round picks and
The 2 picks he gave Spates for McCaffrey plus Metcalf for Chubb. Would you have taken that offer?
Sorry, what were they? I totally forget.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
2 firsts and
It was
That's a
it was-
no. That's a no.
It was a 23 and a 20.
Say that again.
I probably would have taken it.
Oh, goodbye.
Who won the deal, Spates or Innis?
Space by a mile.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Thanks, Kev.
Thank
See you later.
you. Spates by a mile.
That's what I'm saying. Breen, it was a young wide receiver in picks. He loves his first round.
Come on.
picks.
That was great content right there.
Yeah, I mean,
now that Breed has been on the episode, this episode is going to go through the viewership.
I know. He is our all-time ratings episode this season.
True.
Who knows?
He did say yes to that, correct?
He said
Yeah.
yes.
in a
If
second.
there's, if
that
there's a
would've made
man
sense.
out there that loves first round picks more than Kevin Breen,
I'd like to meet them.
Look at him just
Yeah, but
chilling.
Breen is also like, look at his track record for where he's been in this league. He's
Look at him just hanging
really
out
good.
10 o'clock at night, just chilling on his living room couch, being like, "What up? I'm watching TV."
I think he's just working.
Hey, with no further ado, let's transition to Breen's game. All right, we got number 5
good
in
segue.
against number 7.
Breen. Speaking of Breen.
Speaking of Kevin Breen, let's talk about his game. Breen even the season series with a 3-point win over Jeff. This snapped a 5-game losing streak for Breen, so he got out of it. He hasn't won since October 17th. That was quite a while ago. Kevin Breen.
Kev just texted me. He goes, "Hey, was I the only one who thought that?" I was like, "Oh no. Here we go."
No, that's a very popular opinion. Between Jeff and Kevin, tale of 2 different 5 and 7 teams here. Breen with the points, Jeff without, going in different directions, but same record. Start with Steve. Steve, you coined the phrase mucking up the middle with the points and schedules. Is Innis still considered a part of this mucked up middle?
No.
Okay.
I think innocent spades are out. Breen with this win, with the amount of points that he has, has played himself. I mean, we talked about this. He's got to win out.
Mhm.
But he's right in it with the amount of points he's got.
I think he does.
I think
Jeff has a good schedule too. His schedule's opportunistic.
Yep.
All right. I like that a lot. All right, Casey, you have Breen next week, which sounds daunting with all those points that Steve was just talking about, but you've outscored him the last 3 weeks, actually. Do you feel like you can end this season? You're going to snipe him out next week?
yeah, I'm playing spoiler the rest of the way.
Oh, you like it. Okay, you're embracing.
Winning 2 of 3 case, you're back in it.
Yeah, I might just win this thing out.
That's got to be good. That will give you some confidence going into next year. So that's a good feeling. Mike DeVito suffers the loss, but you bail him out with a choke of your own. Are you a good friend or a bad manager?
Both.
You guys don't know. I'm awful at fantasy football.
Yeah, I should have just the sound
I'm
effects.
not having a bad season, guys. I just looked. I've lost 2 games with over 145 points. What the hell, man?
You lost
Everyone
to
get your
Christian
popcorn ready.
twice.
Let Mike talk.
You lost to Christian twice, which we will get to later. How about we go to number 10, Casey, against number 3, DeVito. Let's spice up this podcast with a little co-manager battle. Casey throws up a mini second place boom. It's the kind that you don't win money for. Don't look now, but Casey has scored 150 points in 2 out of the last 3 weeks. Steve, on the podcast last week, you mentioned that you were nervous. You were more nervous about the weather on the East Coast than you were about AJ Brown. AJ Brown had 4 catches and a fumble. Milford was a high of 52 with 5-mile-an-hour winds and only a 1/4 inch of rain. As of today, what are you more nervous about?
I'm not nervous about AJ Brown.
All right, it definitely seems more nervous than.
He was also sick last week. Lost 7 pounds and popped a blood vessel in his eye.
I need that
so much.
I need that throw. I need that. I'll take the blood vessel.
Yeah, he was very, very sick last week.
Yeah.
And the fact that he played, I read an article that said that it was actually a mini miracle that he was on the field. So, no, I'm not worried about him. And he's got a big revenge game this week at home against Tennessee.
Oh, they're doing Tennessee. Are you a firm believer in the revenge narrative?
Yes,
I feel like there is added motivation there.
absolutely.
How did it
funny
end?
when you said that. Yeah.
How did it end with Tennessee? Did it end poorly?
Well, they traded him.
They traded him, right?
They didn't
Yeah,
want
he wanted a contract extension, and they wouldn't give it to him. So they
Good.
traded him.
Okay. Revenge game on the horizon. Casey, you confidently picked yourself as the upset last week. And then you talked Steve with some Jedi mind tricks out of playing James Conner. It ended up working in your favor. What do you have to say for yourself?
Work like a charm. No,
Jedi-
it was
I know
actually
from
funny.
experience, don't play James Carter.
Would have made a difference.
Yeah, no. Steve and I made a trade this week. If we want to look at that, but part of my thinking when I made that trade was I'm going to trade him 2 guys in my starting lineup. I'm up by 70 points after Thursday because Amon-Ra and Jefferson were awesome, and I said I'm going to bury myself after I make this trade, and then lose outright till I won't be able to catch him because Mike was also down at the time. So I'm glad it worked out. I'm glad I didn't play James, but it didn't matter because my boy Watson came through on Monday night.
Well, all right. Congratulations for you. Hey, Mike, Steve had a pretty good game still. It was 146. What advice do you have for him?
I hope he loses. I can still catch Steve, so I'm really rooting for
Why do you
Steve
hope
to
I
lose.
lose? How about we both win?
Well, if I don't win, I'd like you to lose, is all I'm saying. No, I think DeVito's going to stay the course. I think DeVito's team is still solid. Again, we didn't really get into the trade of Steve moving Cup.
I
I
mean,
thought
we can.
an interesting decision by Steve to go that direction. I think it's one we'll look at this season if he loses and question the validity of it. But I think the move he's making is to say, I'm going to push my chips in. League is a bit wide open underneath DeVita, and he felt like he needed a couple pieces to continue to move forward. So for his sake, I hope he continues his climb. For everybody else's sake, I hope his team fails miserably and 3 guys get hurt this week and he gets passed by a couple teams.
So wait, that deal was Casey got Cup and Juju, and Steve got Allen and Andrews, and Allen. So Casey essentially trades Allen, and then he blows up against them, and Casey still wins. That's what happened this weekend. Wow, I just caught up on that one like it was a.
I mean, I don't think Allen blew up, but Allen had a really good game. I give Steve credit. I think what Steve needed to do is he needed to deepen his lineup. I think he did that. Like his lineup now is deeper than most that he's going up against, especially in the middle.
Mucking up the middle. That's what you're good at. Deep in the middle. I love it. All right.
Yeah, just get all mucky.
Speaking of somebody that can't win,
Wait, Steve, who would you have played Connor over? Who was your decision point?
You had him in there.
I was going to take out Kamara because he was playing at San Francisco. It wouldn't have made a difference. It was only 19 points.
Hindsight 50-50. Easy to say that after Kamara sucked. I don't think.
I can validate. Yeah, it was part of our talks before Sunday, Mike.
Speaking of sucking.
Yeah, you can say that. It's not on the 7 dirty words. Let's talk about another number 6 seed Christian against the number 4 seed Kaleli from last week. It was Darian who pulls out the broom on Kaleli with a 6-point win in a season.
Oh my goodness!
Sweep for your boy. That guy, he got swept by Casey, and he swept you.
Kaluga.
So transitive property. I swept Kaleli.
Yes, essentially Casey.
Darian put up 153 points. And Travis Etienne got knocked out of the game after 2 plays. Come on.
You'll have your chance to talk. You'll have your chance to talk. This is my turn. Christian also won in week 3 by only 4 points. So a 6-point win and a 4-point win over Mike too. So they're very small. Christian is another team that's pulling back-to-back 150 scores for the first time all season. So Mike, yeah, he's had your number. What's going on? Would you say that you fear him?
No, I fear nobody.
You heard
Here's
it.
What's going on.
Not afraid of Christian Darian.
Did you watch the games? I watched all football Sunday. We were tired. We had a very lazy day. I went out to a new Mexican place with my kids. Lovely dinner.
There's no Mexican in Connecticut. Get out of here.
Geronimo Tequila Bar. It was delicious. I had a couple nice tequilas and sodas.
You think you're getting Mexican food in New Haven, Connecticut? Did I hear that correctly?
I don't live in New Haven.
He's changing the subject because he doesn't want to talk about how much Christian owns him.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to do that right now. Shut your mouth, dude. Nobody even listens to what you say anymore. Last place. We should get Lloyd on next week. So I'm watching the game, and then the friggin' Treylon Burks. Henry catches the ball, runs the field, and Treylon Burks gets a touchdown. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. Thankfully, he doesn't get credit for that because nothing happened.
I think that's lame. I think he should have got credit for that.
He definitely should have, but whatever.
Yeah.
Did you see Garrett Wilson's second touchdown? Eddie Sweet Shoes Jackson. Eddie Sweet Shoes Jackson twists his ankle, and Garrett Wilson's just galloping into the end zone. He gets 30 points with Mike White. And I was like, are you absolutely kidding me? The Bucs had how many chances to put the game away? 1 million? And somehow, let's not play the right offense. And then I'm like, okay, I actually don't have a terrible week. I'm out to dinner. Kyler passes it to Hopkins. I get the stack, and I'm like, nobody was bad. Barkley wasn't great, but I'm right there. I hit about 150. And my wife, huge Packers fan. So I'm like, let's watch the Packers game. Last week, DeVito. Last week, I watched the Eagles Colts.
Hey, Case, do you have any confidence in Mike beating Lloyd next week? Or is that something that
the Colts last week?
What's that, Pete? I stepped away.
They play. Stop muting me. I have a good football point to make.
Stop, Mike. It's so annoying.
They play a defense.
Okay, let's move on.
Mike, you guys know that Christian Pulisic got a pelvic contusion.
I'm pissed off. All right.
I gave you one guy. Okay, you got 5 minutes to vent. Let's talk about something real. Casey.
Mike got so close to the screen that part of his cheeks and stuff.
His nose is going in focus.
His eyes are going in focus.
I'd rather my face be next to Casey so my hair looks better compared to him. Now I'm next to DeVito.
Going for cheap shots.
All I see is the eyebrows.
Hair
And
does not
mustache.
look better than mine.
Yeah, you look
I
like an
know,
Oreo.
that's my problem, Steve. You got
When you're out of focus, you look like an Oreo cookie, Kaleli. All right.
feel like an Oreo cookie.
Casey, Casey, Kaleli's got Lloyd next week. Do you have any confidence that he is going to beat Lloyd after that
No.
terrible rant that just happened?
No,
Or-
I have no confidence. My whole
he seems
team's on a
pretty
bye
confident.
next week, Pete. I plan to have.
He seems really confident. I think Mike's it's gonna ruin it.
All right, real analysis here, Steve. Christian's kind of a surprise.
I had great football analysis right there.
Oh my God, we're not going to invite him back. All right.
Your whole
Why-
team is on a bye. You have 3 guys on a bye. Stop being so dramatic.
That league doesn't. Are you sure it doesn't go every Tuesday night?
It's for effect, guys. Come on, this is
Yeah.
good pod. It's good
All
content.
right, yeah.
So
it's a
maybe
good fight.
maybe Kyle
Number
will pull it up
91
for
on the
you.
Packers didn't hold his rush lane once, and Jalen Hurts had 100 rushing yards in the first quarter. That's all I'm going to
Aren't
say.
you supposed to be at basketball on Tuesday nights?
Did you
I am.
just, yeah.
Such a
7 o'clock
soothing
game
pod
tomorrow
on
night. It was
Tuesdays.
7
It was
o'clock
all, it was
game
all,
tomorrow night.
it was all Preston Smith's fault, Mike.
He's just there. Yeah, he's just there ruining Sheila's night. He's like Preston Smith.
Is he number 91?
Yeah.
Terrible.
All right, Steve. Christian's 6 seed, kind of a surprise here. Is there enough space in the playoffs for 2 large-headed individuals, or no?
Is that the
In a
question?
very weird way, has anyone noticed that things are like falling into place for D'Adarian?
What?
You know,
I didn't notice.
Claypool is now the number 1 receiver in a terrible offense, but still.
Wait,
he's
what
the
happened to
number one-
Mooney?
He
Mooney,
broke his ankle or something.
IR.
he's an ending ankle.
IR.
Yeah,
Oh.
he had to be helped off the field, Mike.
Yeah,
know,
what's your
ETN
football
goes
notes on
out.
that one?
Preston Smith over there, whatever his name was. Go ahead, Steve. Sorry about that.
ETN goes out, but now they report he was just fine.
Yeah,
Garrett Wilson finally has a quarterback that he can throw to, and he's dangerous.
he looks like
Lamar's
a
getting
back.
Deshaun Watson back.
Wilson
he now
looks
has a starting running back in Rashad White in
Herbert?
Tampa.
Herbert's still out.
What is that? have to do
Right.
with-
So, like,
Oh, Khalil
in a
Herbert.
weird way here, things are falling into place for Christian. But 153, if I'm not mistaken, is one of his high scores for the year.
Let's check it out. Hold on. Go ahead. I'll get you.
He's got to play Breen ball.
Christian's highest score was 162. He got it week 2.
But other than that, this I think was the second highest score of the week. of the year, correct?
158. He scored 158 on week 11, and then that was last week. And then he scored 153. So this is his 3rd highest score.
Yeah, and he's got Andy this week, so he's not going to be able to keep his low scoring ways to beat Andy this week. There's no way. Then he has me and Breen, which are 3 of the 4 highest scoring teams in the league.
It's a
So
tough
he
goal. He's
needs
gonna have to earn
essentially,
it.
right. So he needs to come close to booming every week in order to win those games. So to answer your question, no, I don't think he's going to shock everyone. But things are falling into place for him where he could make it interesting at the end.
Not enough room for 2 big heads. I like
Yeah,
it.
Pete, you said that
One
10 wins was going
large
to get
melon.
you in. It seems like we're going to have some 9-win teams get in.
Well, Innis losing really messed up a lot of stuff this weekend. If Innis won, I think it would all have needed to be 10-win teams. But now that Breen and I didn't account for Christian winning these games, so yeah, I didn't think that there was going to be such a parity at the bottom of the playoffs. I have nothing else. Do you guys want to talk about trades? I can talk about. I looked at all the trades and where the teams all settled, and I have an opinion on who I think won the trade deadline. If you guys want to talk about that.
Do you want to play a game? Want to play a game? Winners, losers, and
Or sit
or they sit on it.
Man, we're just losing.
I'll just make this, and I don't know if this is some sort of record, but we made 9 trades last week between Wednesday and Saturday, and I think I would go on a limb and say it was the most active trade deadline we've had in this league. And I just want to let you guys know that getting the updates on my phone was tremendous.
It was awesome.
It made everything so entertaining. I think DeVito and I negotiated our trade for 6 hours. And during the meantime, Mike let me table an offer that we had between our 2 things for the 5 hours and 55 minutes of it.
Pete, this was a dirty move by Case.
That's a low move, dude.
But it's okay. It's okay because afterwards I told Mike that I loved him. So
Dirty. And then he made me the same offer for a worse player. And I'm like, no, I want to. He's like, well, that's the offer. And I'm like,
Oh,
Not
I
the
man.
only-
didn't even, I actually check the transcript. I didn't offer you anything. I said, I thought DeVito would have picked this player and you said, ooh, I'll take him. I never offered him to you.
When all the trades were done, Spates ended up with 6 new players. I ended up with 6 as well. I thought that was kind of interesting. Spates ended up getting Eckler, Metcalf, Fields, Tony, Mooney, and Pacheco. And he ended up giving up McCaffrey, Dak, Hollywood, Deontay Johnson, and Kenyon Drake. So,
And he got
And he
2
got
first-round picks.
And he got
and that's not including any of the picks that he got. He got a ton of picks. I ended up giving up.
Sorry,
Oh,
go ahead, Pete.
go ahead. No, go ahead.
No, go. I was
It's a
gonna
lot
say,
of names. It's a lot of
I was gonna say, I have 4 winners, I have 3 losers, and I have 3 that are just
Go ahead.
middle
My
ground.
stuff's boring.
So my 4 winners are CJ, basically for everything you just went over. I have myself as a winner because I'm in rebuild
good.
mode. I got Cooper Kupp in a rebuild mode, so I'm thinking next year anyways. I have Pete as a winner because I thought his roster was terrible, and I know his roster has taken on like 12 shapes this year. So he made his team better, so he's definitely a winner. And I have Lloyd as a winner.
Yeah.
The ability to turn Brandon
Nice,
Ayuk,
yeah.
a middler wide receiver on an offense where he's one of 7 options, into potentially a impact rookie was the right move for his team. So those are my 4 winners.
I'm confused about how that one went down. DeVita reaches out to Lloyd and trades an injured player. Like the moons are aligning this year. It is bizarre.
So I have DeVita as one of my sit on it guys, because I think he made the move he only could make. He only had one asset to sell because his first rounders were gone. But I think he could have got a lot more than Brandon Ayuk for Brees.
I was just gonna say,
Hall.
couldn't you
And
have
I don't think
taken
he
Brees
shopped him
Hall?
enough.
Me
But
too.
I
couldn't
know
you
that
have taken
I know
Brees
that I was
Hall
talking
for Eckler?
I know
Hold on.
I was talking to him about Keenan Allen for Brees Hall, and he didn't really show a lot of interest.
Really? Wait, what were you saying, Steve? Keenan
I
Allen
was
for
gonna say, couldn't you have taken Brees Hall and something else to go get Austin Eckler?
I don't know. You do that. I love Eckler. You guys don't like Eckler, but whatever.
Let's just say that trade ruined another trade I had because someone else in the league was like, well, if Brees Hall can get traded for Ayuk, I'm not trading this for that. And I'm like,
Right. That's
I'm
what
not
I was
trading
thinking.
I'm not changing my thoughts because there was somebody else that made it.
That's what I was thinking. Is it kind of messed up the flow for everybody because Brandon Ayuk's not good and
No.
Brees Hall is. You could have gotten more for him, and I don't know.
I think for DeVita, the one thing he did there though is that he put someone at the bottom of his roster that was better than below average.
Yeah. You
Points
have to
wise.
remember. Yeah. Think of the guys.
That's why I think he's a mid, like an like
He's
he
a middling.
didn't.
I agree with that. He
he
upgraded the
could've-
last spot in his starting roster, even though he probably could have got more. He did do a good logical move.
He did
to get-
something. He did something. Unlike Mike, who traded away a player for.
I mean, wait, hold on. He traded away the first overall pick for Brandon Ayuk.
Ayuk.
But he has a chance to win, and that Brandon Ayuk might be better than
Brandon Ayuk doesn't
Hayden
do
Hurst.
it. I think sitting on Brees Hall has a better chance of winning him a championship next year than having Ayuk this year. Hot
I
take.
don't know.
Hot take Tuesday. All right. Anything else?
Who lost?
Who lost what?
Who lost the trade deadline?
I think Innis had a horrible trade deadline. He got
Innis,
one guy. He
yeah,
gave up Deontay Johnson, DK Metcalf, and Austin Eckler for McCaffrey. I think that's terrible, in addition to a ton of picks. I also had DeVita as only like the Ayuk for Hall trade. Looks pretty awful. And then the only other 2 that were really active were Casey and Steve. Casey, you ended up getting Kupp, Juju, and Drake, and trading away Allen.
We don't count Drake, Pete. We don't count Drake as a trade. It was
and ending up trading Allen, Andrews.
You
Cook,
sent me.
yeah.
You sent me Drake with a pick.
Steve, you got Allen and Andrews, and you traded away Kupp and Juju. That's a trade deadline summary of big parts that were shifted from last Wednesday. Mostly just us 6.
Yeah,
It's more than half the league. It's a lot of movement.
Pretty good. Yeah,
it was good.
All right.
It was good.
Anything else?
Encourage all trades. Encourage all trades.
Hot take Tuesday.
I'll take Tuesday.
All right, Thursday, do some game preview, week 13. All right, Mike, you're being weird. I was asking if you want to respond. Okay, forget it.
Mike, do you want to take us out? Do you want to say anything?
Take us
Nah,
out.
You guys, someone else can take us out. I'm still worked up about Preston Smith.
Oh, he's all upset. Well,
You didn't even know his name until 3 minutes
I didn't.
ago.
Number 91. That's all I know. Just stay in your lane, dude. Make the guy throw. He had 110 rushing yards in the
night.
first